How can you tell the difference between genuine spiritual growth and the illusions that promise enlightenment but actually lead to confinement? Amidst the quiet wisdom of the ages and the confident assertions of modern science, there's a question that touches the very core of our being. Are we the result of cosmic intent or just the product of chance? This puzzle, which combines ideas about genetically engineered origins and organic serendipity, has a big impact on our search for spiritual awakening and self-discovery. The story of Prometheus is a testament to our ongoing quest to understand our origins and the essence of our being. This ancient myth, which tells the story of how humanity was created from clay and given fire, is not just a story. It's a profound allegory of divine interference and the awakening of consciousness. Prometheus went against the rules and gave humans a little bit of divine awareness, as well as fire. This set the stage for a never-ending battle between what humans can do and what higher powers want them to do. This story brings up a big question in the genetic modification debate. If our origins are the result of divine or extraterrestrial tampering, what does this mean for how we see ourselves and our spiritual sovereignty? The idea that our genes might have been changed on purpose by people or other beings challenges the way we see ourselves. It makes us think that our ability to have spirituality, free will, and even our tendency to worship might have been created rather than developed naturally. Now, let's consider the idea of the worship gene. This is a theory that suggests our genetic code might contain elements designed to make us more inclined to submit to and revere higher powers. This idea, while it's a metaphor, points to a deeper problem: the struggle to achieve true spiritual sovereignty in the face of potential genetic predispositions towards obedience and worship. It makes us think about whether our spiritual experiences are really the result of free will and individual awakening, or if they're subtly influenced by ingrained tendencies towards devotion, which might even be implanted in our DNA. Embracing this perspective has some pretty big implications. It suggests that the cosmos is not just a product of evolutionary chance. It's a place where humanity is crafted with intention and has a consciousness that was ignited, not something that just happened by chance. This way of thinking changes how we see our spiritual journey. It makes us think of our search for enlightenment and unity with the divine not as something that just happens naturally, but as something that has been planned by people we don't know. But even though this origin is complex and there's manipulation and destiny involved, there's still a great chance for awakening. Seeing that our spiritual tendencies might be affected by genetics doesn't mean we should give up on our quest for enlightenment. It just makes it more interesting and challenging. It makes us think more deeply about what it really means to be in charge of our spirituality. It makes us ask ourselves whether we can connect with the divine as a choice, not just something we're born with. In light of the Prometheus myth, our journey towards spiritual sovereignty can be seen as a modern act of rebellion, akin to stealing fire from the gods. It's about making a conscious decision to embrace our spark of consciousness, to question, seek, and transcend beyond the boundaries of our potential genetic legacy. This path isn't easy. It requires us to navigate the murky waters of destiny, free will, and the essence of our being. But it's a journey worth taking. As we think about where our spiritual tendencies come from, whether they're natural or man-made, we're called to a higher mission. We're not just trying to figure out how we came to be, we're also trying to understand who we really are in the face of that knowledge. In this quest, we are all Prometheus, bearers of the fire of consciousness. We are challenged to illuminate the darkness, not with answers, but with questions. We are not called to submit, but to embrace sovereignty. The idea of humanity was created not for its own glory, but to be servants, made to obey beings we don't even understand. This way of thinking, which sees humans as mere creations for subordination, has a big impact on the quest for spiritual sovereignty. It challenges the very foundations on which we build our identity and purpose. There are so many dangers in thinking like this. If we accept that humanity is meant to be subservient to advanced beings, it puts chains on our collective psyche, tying the spirit to a destiny that wasn't of its own making. It puts a cap on how high we can go, both in terms of our spiritual growth and our existence. Believing that we're meant to be submissive stops us from seeking, questioning, and growing. It makes us think that the journey of self-discovery is something we have to do, rather than something we can choose to do. This way of thinking doesn't just affect how we understand spirituality, it also affects the very core of our search for meaning. The journey towards spiritual awakening, which is traditionally seen as a process of personal and collective growth, can become tainted with a sense of predestination. The desire for enlightenment and unity with the universe, a goal that has inspired people for millennia, is now overshadowed by a sense of futility. It's as if we're being told that our aspirations towards transcendence are nothing more than echoes of a purpose implanted within us. But it is in this very darkness that a spark of rebellion ignites, defying the notion that our existence is predetermined servitude. The idea of spiritual sovereignty is a beacon of hope. It shows that we can rise above the stories that limit and subjugate us. Spiritual sovereignty is about recognizing our right to define our spiritual path. It's about seeking divinity not as subjects of a grand cosmic hierarchy, but as co-creators of our destiny. The journey towards reclaiming this sovereignty is both a form of resistance and an affirmation of faith. It's not about believing in the entities that might claim dominion over us. It's about believing in the boundless potential of the human spirit. It requires a complete rethink of our role in the world and a firm belief in our ability to grow and learn. This path is full of questions that challenge the status quo, moments of profound insight that shed light on the darkness, and actions that affirm our autonomy. As we navigate the complexities of spiritual awakening amidst narratives of engineered subservience, we are called to take a closer look at ourselves. We can't underestimate the impact these narratives have on our journey towards self-discovery. They act as both roadblocks and catalysts, forcing us to confront the essence of our being and the authenticity of our quest for enlightenment. Facing the darkness is the key to transformation. It's only by facing the dark that we can truly appreciate the light. In this moment of reckoning, you are invited to take a step back and look at your own beliefs. Think about the stories that have shaped your understanding of existence, and look for ways to embrace your own spirituality. This journey isn't about rejecting the idea of higher beings or cosmic orders. It's about asserting our right to seek connection with the divine on our own terms, guided by the light of our inner wisdom. The call to reclaim your spiritual sovereignty is not just a challenge. It's an invitation to jump into the big picture of life, to explore the depths of your soul, and to discover the true extent of your power and purpose. You're not alone on this journey. There are others who yearn for freedom, seek the truth, and refuse to be bound. We're all fellow travelers on the road to enlightenment and liberation. There's a subtle but pervasive control mechanism that has woven its way through the fabric of human consciousness. This mechanism, based on the idea of servitude, has adapted to fit with how people think nowadays. It influences our beliefs, guides our actions, and affects how we see our place in the universe. It's a narrative that subtly suggests our limitations and implies that we need guidance and governance from entities beyond our understanding. It distracts, divides, and diminishes us, preventing us from realizing that the keys to the kingdom lie not in the heavens but within us. The barriers created by this mechanism aren't just external, they're internal, too, part of the human psyche. They show up as doubts and fears that make us question our worth, our power, and our ability to realize our potential. These barriers are the things that block our view, the chains that bind our spirits, and the walls that confine our minds. But deep down, every one of us has the desire to break free from the chains of the past and reclaim our true power. The work we need to do now is to get rid of these barriers, remember who we are, and access our full potential. It takes courage to question the stories that have shaped our lives, wisdom to see beyond the barriers that divide us, and unity to stand together in the face of forces that keep us apart. This work isn't about fighting against other people or groups. It's about transforming ourselves and reclaiming the power that's within each of us. As you navigate the complexities of this world, remember that the narrative of servitude, the Tower of Babel, and the mechanisms of control are just chapters in the larger story of humanity's quest for freedom and fulfillment. You're not just a character in this story. You're a co-author, with the power to rewrite the script, build bridges where walls once stood, and light the way toward a future where humanity's full potential can finally be realized. You're not alone in this quest. Every heart seeking the truth, every mind daring to question, every spirit yearning for freedom is part of a growing chorus singing a new song of unity, liberation, and love. In the realm of spiritual awakening, where the soul's quest for truth unfolds across existence, lies the concept of spiritual sovereignty. This is a guiding light for seekers, showing them how to liberate their highest selves. Spiritual sovereignty is the deep understanding that you have the power and authority to shape your spiritual journey. It's about taking ownership of your beliefs, experiences, and the path of awakening. It means standing firm in the truth of who you are, without letting external authority or dogma sway you. This sovereignty isn't a destination, it's a journey of continuous unfolding. It means the individual becomes the master of their destiny, navigating the waters of consciousness with the compass of their inner wisdom. But as with all paths to power and liberation, there's a shadow side, spiritual narcissism. This shadow doesn't come from the essence of sovereignty. It comes from the ego's use of spiritual awakening as a way to show off and feel superior. Spiritual narcissism is when the quest for self-realization is taken over by the ego. This turns a journey of unity and love into a platform for separation and self-aggrandizement. This can show up as a belief in one's enlightenment, as a badge of honor that sets them apart from others, rather than as a humble walk back to the heart of oneness. There's a big difference between spiritual sovereignty and spiritual narcissism. It's like the difference between the sun and a mirage. Spiritual sovereignty gives people the power to become their own authority, and it's grounded in a sense of unity and service. Spiritual narcissism makes the individual believe they're superior because of their ego. Sovereignty is about breaking down barriers. Narcissism is about putting up barriers. Sovereignty is liberating. Narcissism is a form of confinement. The earth is a complex, multi-dimensional matrix or school, if you will, designed for the evolution of the soul. It's in this big, complex learning environment that the soul gets the lessons it needs about duality, love, sacrifice, and power. Every life experience, challenge, and interaction is a part of our spiritual curriculum, helping us to grow, to choose love over fear, and unity over separation. This earthly matrix, with its rich diversity and potential for profound transformation, is the ideal setting for exploring spiritual sovereignty. It offers endless opportunities for seekers to assert their inner authority, choose their path, and evolve beyond the confines of the ego. The journey towards spiritual sovereignty is full of moments where we get to choose. These choices help us to understand more about what it means to be powerful and humble, and to embrace our full potential. It means keeping an eye on the ego, doing some self-reflection, and making sure you're serving the greater good. On this sacred journey, Earth acts as both stage and teacher, showing us the lessons we need to move beyond the illusions of separation and superiority. It guides us towards the realization that we are all connected. As you embark on your spiritual journey, remember that true sovereignty isn't about controlling others, but about mastering yourself. It's a path that's all about humility, compassion, and a deep respect for the interconnectedness of all beings. When you claim your spiritual sovereignty, you're basically saying that the earth is your classroom. You learn the lessons it offers with an open heart, and you walk the path of awakening with a spirit of unity and love. This journey isn't about you being separate from the world. It's about you coming back to it. It's about returning to the heart of oneness, where every step you take in sovereignty is a step towards realizing our collective divinity. The first step on this path is recognizing these manipulative narratives. They're stories woven into the fabric of society that dictate who you should be, what you should value, and where you should seek fulfillment. These stories are often full of fear and designed to make you fit in and hide your true nature. Seeing them for what they really are is a big step towards spiritual awakening. It's a way of saying you're ready to take back control of your story and make your own destiny. With this awareness in ND, you can start your inward journey. It's a journey of self-love, a radical acceptance of all that you are, your light and your darkness, your strengths, and your vulnerabilities. This self-love isn't about being selfish. It's about being kind to yourself and recognizing that you deserve love, respect, and kindness. It's the foundation of your spiritual sovereignty, the the bedrock that allows you to stand firm in the face of fear and manipulation. Being fully present with yourself, paying attention to what your soul is trying to tell you, is the way to find your way through the confusion and doubt. It's in these moments of presence that clarity emerges, that the noise of the world fades away, and the voice of your true self speaks. This voice is your most reliable guide. It's gentle but powerful, reassuring you as you navigate the challenges on your path to empowerment. The realization that you are connected to the source, the infinite wellspring of creation from which all life flows, is the ultimate goal of your journey. It's about understanding that you're not just a leaf blown about by fate, but that you're the wind itself, with the power to shape your destiny. This realization shows that the source of all power, love, and wisdom is within you, waiting to be acknowledged and embraced. With self-love, inner presence, and the knowledge of your divine connection, the path to empowerment is right in front of you. It's a path of limitless potential and freedom. On this path, fear and limiting beliefs become opportunities for growth and understanding. Every step you take with intention and awareness brings you closer to realizing your spiritual sovereignty. You'll reach a point where manipulation and control lose their grip, and the true you, your luminous essence, will shine forth. We've gone through a lot of questions that really make you think about who you are. The key differences between us being genetically modified and us being the creations of those who may have engineered us encourage us to look beyond the surface. We can question not just our physical composition, but also the spiritual essence that animates us. This isn't just an academic exercise. It's a journey of self-discovery, seeking truths that lie buried beneath layers of deception and engineered narratives. The invitation to explore your true essence beyond these imposed limitations is a call to reclaim the narrative of your existence. It's a call to take off the layers that have been on you for so long and see the bright, potential-filled person you really are. This journey isn't something you can do alone. It's something we can all do together, and each time we make a discovery or have an awakening, it adds to the collective human consciousness. In the quiet of your heart, you've heard the call to realize your spiritual sovereignty. This is not something you've achieved by playing a cosmic game. You are a sovereign soul, and this is your birthright. It's a core aspect of your being that connects you to the source of all creation. The sense of empowerment that comes from this realization is incredible. It transforms fear into love, doubt into certainty, and confusion into clarity. As you embrace this newfound understanding, you are not just called to bask in the glow of your awakening, but to share the flame with others. Your journey, your struggles, and your triumphs are not just about you. They're parts of the bigger story of humanity waking up. By sharing your story, you offer hope to those still navigating the darkness. You show that the human spirit can overcome limitations, whether self-imposed or imposed by others. The journey towards spiritual sovereignty and the realization of our inherent connection to the source is something we all do together, as individuals and as a collective. It's a path that's paved with the courage to question, the strength to seek, and the wisdom to understand. As you go along this journey, remember that you're not alone. Forever. Wide person who's looking for the truth, every soul that wants freedom, and every spirit that rises up against limitations, they're all fellow travelers on the road to enlightenment. This isn't the end, it's just the beginning. It's a call to action to keep on the journey of awakening, to go deeper into the mystery of who you are, and to share the light of your truth with the world. Your story is a vital thread in the fabric of humanity's evolution, a spark that can ignite the flames of awakening in others. Share it with courage, with love, and with the unwavering belief and boundless potential that we all have inside us.